going to be a pretty quick video, it should be. Uh, I'm going to go over my Dio support build. I'm not sure if I'm the first one that came up with this, but basically what this build is about is this is for the DCs that want to eventually main as an AC/DC. But let's say, for example, in my guild, a lot of up-and-coming DCs I have want to main as an AC/DC, but when they team up with a seasoned DC, like team up with me, they can't AC/DC because they don't have higher base power than me. That's how we do it in our guild. Whoever has the higher base power gets the AC/DC role, and the other one takes on the DO role. Now, of course, lots of DCs don't have a DO DPS set up, and a lot of people don't want to spend the resources for that because they would rather spend the resources maining as an AC. So this build is specifically designed for those individuals. Now my powers, don't mind the companion. I haven't ran this build in a while because I eventually made a DO DPS. But basically what it is you run almost all the exact same gear and stuff as you would for your AC setup. So you'd have all your power recovery artifacts down here. Your weapons, all that stuff would be the same. Like you notice my rings here, they're the same as my AC/DC setup. So basically, you don't have, obviously with this setup, you don't have a lot of crit, if any at all. Alright? So, go ahead, these are the feats that I run for this setup. Now, a thing that you could change, you could drop the cleanse. If you're running with the Guardian Fighter DPS, drop the cleanse, take those 2 points and put them wherever you see fit. I would probably put them in Greater Fortune. That's just me. Everything else is pretty much the same. Except obviously this is a DO, so these are different than what they would be for your AC setup. Alright. Now, your weapons, since they would be coming over from your AC/DC, okay, they would have hastening light on them, obviously, okay, and that's fine, because when you go to your powers, you're going to run Terrifying Insight, obviously, because you're running DO, and then you would go ahead and you would run Hastening Light. So basically, you should have a pretty fair amount of recovery. So since you're not doing DO DPS, you might as well go ahead and try to give something to the team, since you can't bring any peeps to the table running the setup. So that's why you would run Hastening Light. So you can still crank out some kind of support benefit to the team. You still run the same dailies, Hallowed Ground, Divine Armor, that kind of stuff. All that's the same. Now, for this setup, I don't run Daunting Light or Chains. You can if you want. I usually just run Bastion or Healing Word. That's more of a preference thing. I still run Doom, and that's obviously, well, I got Forge Masters on, but nowadays usually the AC/DCs are running Forge Masters Flame. So you probably end up running Break the Spirit. And that's pretty much it. Obviously, you'd still want to run around hard with the Black Dragon as the DO, so when you come up to mobs, you can pop that, turn around and start fighting, keep up that Artificer's Persuasion. The boons, my boons are pretty much the same for this setup like they would be for my AC/DC. Again, I'm going too fast, just pause the video if you're trying to mimic my boon selections. For mounts, I'm still running the same old setup. Although I probably shouldn't run Assassin's Covenant on this setup. I just haven't bothered changing it. If I wasn't going to run Assassin's Covenant, I would look into... I'd probably run Protector's Camaraderie. Just for a little extra defense, for survivability. But it's up to you. That's just me. So, this works really good for up-and-coming ACDCs, okay? Because you've still got a pretty good vast amount of recovery, and you can still feel like you're doing something for the team, since you're not a DO DPS. I've had quite a few DCs run this. I've even taken a person who had way subpar gear, trying to AC T9. Talked to him, give him this build, took him into T9 with that build. Went over like a rotation, what he needed to do, try to keep out certain powers and stuff, and the run was smooth. It was smooth. So, if you're one of the DCs out there, and you're trying to AC DC as a main, and not bother with DO DPS, but you end up getting put into the role of DO frequently with other seasoned DCs, then this build or setup is probably going to be a good fit for you. That's all I got. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.